You're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is a join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This meeting that happened at State House between the Catholic Church and President Hakainde Hichilema is one that has trended the past couple of hours. So some interesting pictures emanating from that particular meeting that happened at State House. The demeanor of the priests and the president was lovely. So that's what's trending. But mostly, this was a meeting of an apology. Because of the recent past, you must be aware that a number of Catholic priests have been visited by the police when either meeting Edgar Lungu or different scenarios that have played out. So the president was apologizing to the bishops for those incidences. But obviously the priests were also welcoming. Just the meeting was fruitful from the look of things. There's a stream that I have posted on the channel already in case you haven't checked it out where the meeting was taking place. Then you can see, so this is when the priests were coming in State House. Introduction there from Secretary to the Cabinet, that is Mr. Patrick Chagwa, and then the rest of the bishops or the Catholic priests. So these beautiful pictures were taken from State House during that particular meeting. And then obviously Kalemba also posted the same meeting with the particular, they say Hichilema apologizes to the Catholic Church for police misconduct. President Hakainde has issued an apology to the Catholic Church following instances of police misconduct in Chagwa and on the Cover Belt. So pretty much, if you remember, those $1 instances. So that's one thing that came out of that. So those beautiful pictures were taken from State House. It was a very high-level meeting. The ones in blue at the bottom there, most of them are ministers. So I can see Minister of Defense next to Secretary to the Cabinet, that is Patrick Chagwa, and then on the far right, that is Jack Mwimbu, our Home Affairs Minister. The other two should just be officials from State House. Then you see Milopi there, that's Minister. More officials, but mostly at the top there, you see the president and the Catholic bishops. But interestingly, from this picture, one bishop was missing, and that is should be Alik Banda, the Lusaka province bishop, was missing in this particular picture. So the funny thing is that after this picture trended and the meeting was fruitful from both sides, just positive feedback coming from this particular meeting. Kelvin Fubebwali also posted pictures of the bishop that was missing from that particular meeting. It was Alik Banda there. So these are not pictures that were taken on the same day that President Hakainde Hichilema met the Catholic bishops. These pictures Kelvin Fube were from time back. He had posted them earlier on, but because those pictures, I assume, those pictures for the priests at State House were trending, he decided to repost this just an hour ago, in fact. And his captions is saying, as the creator of all things, God is the ruler of all things. We shall keep seeking guidance from the church. So that was the caption he put there. And then obviously, you know, politicians, he ended up also adding the pictures that he's taken over time with the Alik Banda bishop that did not attend that particular State Out meeting with President Hakainde Hichilema. So these particular pictures of KPF and Alik Banda were not new, neither were they taken on the day that President Hakainde Hichilema met the other bishops. He absconded that meeting, reasons best known to himself. I'm sure he's going to explain himself, or he doesn't have to. It's kind of obvious. He's not in good books with the president. So these were throwback. He puts them up there. But Mouse Sampa, the PF drama continues. That's what's going on. So who said you meet the current or former president to discuss matters of national and public interest, then you receive $5 million US, street kachepa, not even Zali, from
for my pockets from either. Do not need it. PF is not for sale to the highest bidder. It's for free. It's free for all. So if you remember this job that Mao Sampa is sending, if you remember when he decided to hold that alleged to be PF General Conference at Mulungushi Conference Center, it was alleged to say he was paid by the UPND government for him to disrupt the Edgar Lungu-led PF. So he was simply stating here to say neither did President Hakainde Hichilema pay him then, nor did Edgar Chagalungu pay him at this point. So he says it was alleged he was given 5 million, $5 million US by President Hakainde Hichilema then, which he says it's a lie. And then now also, based off the meeting that he had with Edgar Lungu, if you remember, it should be like 2 weeks ago, he says he wasn't given that 5 million US dollars either at this point. So that's what he was confirming here to say, no, neither those meetings were waste of money at this point. So that's Mao Sampa justifying his meeting with either President Hakainde Hichilema or Edgar Lungu. No money was involved. That 5 million US dollars was not given to him. He says, oh, wow. And then someone in the comments section there responds. Then another interesting, Mao's went on a rampage just to defend himself because a lot of things have been happening with PF, with President Hakainde Hichilema, Edgar Chagalungu, the expulsion of 9 MPs in parliament, just a lot. So he picked up those two issues where to clarify to say he wasn't paid by President Hakainde Hichilema, no former President Edgar Chagalungu. Then the other rumor was with regard to James Ndambo. So the man that you see with Mao Sampa on screen right now, the man in the black suit, that's James Ndambo, a very wealthy business person. He's now based in South Africa, but he's a Zambian by all standards. He's a Zambian. So some time back here, they held a competition where he spent 1 million US dollars on that competition in Choma, called my hometown, pageant of some sort. And then he gave some cars to the police for service, just a lot of money. He had spent a lot of money in a short period of time. So he drew attention to the public, from the public and obviously political players. But Mao Sampa put up this post. So he says, accusations leveraging to seek the benefits from Mr. Ndambo need to be rendered, especially when reflecting on the strategic partnership he has fostered for the betterment of Zambia. Attempts by the UPND, this is Mao Sampa speaking, attempts by the UPND members to distance Mr. Ndambo from their party and are misguided as he friendships beyond political affiliations and beyond tenure of offices. Politicizing his contributions undermines the positive engagements he has facilitated for the nation progress. So he says, and then he went further to say, it is quite intriguing how a man with an extensive history in Zambia's business circles, philanthropy endeavors, spanning over 30 years, has miraculously transitioned from a neutral figure untouched by the UNIP, that is Kaunda's government, by the MMD, Frederick Shua's government, and the RB, even Manawasa's government, and now that as the government, Edgar Chagalungu, and now alleged to be Mao Sampa, say none of these people had attached me, Ndambo, only to be labeled as a sole enemy of the UPND, he asks. So he simply says, what is going on? But it's kind of questionable. He puts up a number of things, but pretty much he's accusing to say the UPND are trying to accuse to say Mao Sampa was funded by this man you see on screen there, Mr. James Ndambo. And he says, no, he didn't receive any money from him, and neither is Mr. James Ndambo a PF aligned individual. He's a neutral Zambian. But someone within government doesn't like this man. That's very clear because his project that he started in Choma, he had to shut down that my hometown project. Whoever knows might share what the history is with James Ndambo, but someone does not like him clearly and does not want him to come back to the country, because he intended to make that my hometown to run through different provinces over time. So the way he did it in Choma, he wanted to do it in another province, probably Western province, and then obviously the 10 provinces. But it was politicized to say he had political interest, he wanted to run as president. Those were the allegations going around at the time. And then the man just decided he didn't want that attention. He decided to pull back and shut down that company and then relocate to South Africa. That's where he was based anyway. He decided to continue his life in South Africa. In other news, the Electoral Commission of Zambia is in the news again, as expected. It's a lot. So that's the chairperson who was giving an update of what's going on. So there's been a number of by-elections that have been taking place in the nation. And here are the updates coming from the Electoral Commission of Zambia and obviously the opposition and the UPND. So Smart Eagles allege, this is the PF run page, says UPND rigging. So they attached an audio to that, but they do not put a face to it. So those allegations, they are not backed up by any individual. So you cannot post that on this channel. We don't do propaganda. No, things have to be backed up by facts. Someone has to stand by his word and appear on screen and say it, not speaking through voice notes and stuff. So pretty much that's what they alleged. They alleged to say the UPND is rigging those by-elections that are taking place and that have been won. And then the UPND response say UNIP is now better than PF because UNIP, which is the first government, the counter party, performed way better than the PF in these by-elections. So the UPND is jumping at PF to say, even UNIP is performing better than the PF, and then shots fired. Someone laughs in the comment section there. It's politics, it's expected. But one person that did not take decided to reflect on these by-elections that have taken place was Hichilema. So he also didn't perform very well, just like a PF. So he ended up asking a question to say, what's going on here? In the work, he hasn't won a single mayoral seat or anything. Fred members SP has won. I think they've got a councillor in some province. At least they can see some results to say, okay, something is coming out of what they're doing. But with Hichilema, he seems to be investing and doing everything that is right, but without yielding any results at this point. So he asked the question. This is what he asked. So he says, Chinama Ward election results of Kanchibia constituency. What is UPPZ doing right that we should emulate, especially in Kanchibia, he asks. For the UPND, we know it is vote buying, so he alleges, and then he lists how they performed. So at the top there, it's the UPND that have won the seat, obviously, with 754. And then UPPZ, that is next. They won by, they told UPND by, they got 296. And then Citizen First, that is him, Hichilema, that is 271. And then obviously SP, then PF, then I don't know what that L means. I don't know that party. They got 9 votes. So then he asks, say, that team that got second place, what are they doing right? And then obviously some people are giving me the answers. One thing about Zambians, if you ask for advice, they'll give you the advice, they'll give you the response. So he asked that question, and then he says, and then people say, it's just that vote buying. If you're accusing the UPND to have bought votes, you might as well also start vote buying, because it seems like that's what's working. You can't allege something and then you see your friends are yielding results. You say no, the UPND bought votes, but the second guy did not buy votes, and that's another opposition. So that argument was negated. Someone in the comment section there says. And then Lazarus also says, nothing beats hard work, Mr. President. There's just need to make every member at every position and every level to work hard as possible. He says, to say the UPND did not buy those votes, neither did the UPPZ. They simply worked hard for those votes. So he says. And then Mike also continues responding to that query from Hichilema. He says, Charles Chanda has proven himself as an alternative opposition leader. He is very mature, and as Zambians, we will give him the mandate to run the affairs of this country. Here in Congo district of Western Province, he is our man. So simply saying, I mean, he has proven himself. There's nothing like vote buying there. So that most of the comments responded in that regard to Hadikawa's question to say how is how is the UPZ performing better, but he alleges the UPND bought votes. And then the UPND goes further to say, we do not know we do not know that people were voting yesterday because as PF and UKA or UNKWA, they say, members, we were on Black Friday and Nakachinda. So they alleged Friend Nakachinda is the one who had spoken those words to say they were simply not aware that there were by-elections taking place. Obviously, these are just political jabs coming from the party. It's expected. You expect such things. And then the UPND goes further to congratulate Gilbert. Congratulations, Gilbert Risaniso, the UPND National Youth Chairperson, and your team for your outstanding efforts in soaring victory in Luena and Mwai Ward by-elections and Sekongo Western Province. So pretty much the UPND has scooped all those by-elections. So they are just congratulating their youth, National Youth Chairperson, Risaniso, as a key player in securing that victory. Whilst the President Hakainde Hichilema has wished everybody a happy Sabbath today, wherever you are celebrating your Sabbath from, the President is wishing you a happy Sabbath. And then the President had this to say: on this Sabbath morning, we commit to living life of service and humility, knowing that it's giving and receiving, and service to and serving and being served. So pretty much that was the message from the President. Have a happy weekend, ladies and gentlemen. That's the news.